Hi there, my name is Lena Crawley, and today I want to talk about how to teach so your homeschool kids will listen. Do you ever feel like you're talking to a brick wall? Because same. And I feel like there's a couple strategies that I do to try to combat this, and let's get right into it. I'm a brand new YouTuber, so I'm not good at intros, outros, just jump right into it. I mentioned recently on my Instagram stories that we had some tears coming back from a long homeschool break. On our first day back, there was some friction and we weren't used to our routine yet. And I think once you get out of the routine, it's so hard to get back into it, especially when you've been out of it for a while. But I had some questions because people assume that I know what I'm talking about since I talk on the internet. I'm a lady on the internet. And I post like kids activities and different stuff like that. So people like to assume that I am much more patient than I am or much better homeschool teacher than I am. And there's a few tips that I've learned along the way, but I'm definitely not a perfect homeschool teacher. The first thing that I would recommend is to start early. And I don't mean early in the day, although I think that is a good rule of thumb to start as early in the day as you can, like as soon as everybody's dressed and up, get homeschool out of the way. But I mean early in their life. Start early when they're like 3, 4 years old. Sit down and do 5 to 10 minute lessons with them consistently so that it becomes something that they're used to, and make it fun. That is such a key thing when they're little, is to make it fun. Kids thrive on routine, and when learning is a natural part of their day from an early age, it just becomes part of their routine, like brushing your teeth. Kids don't really like brushing your teeth, but we do it because we have to. And that's kind of how I see homeschool. If your child isn't used to lessons yet and you did not start early, start slow. By slow, I mean 5, 10 minute lessons. Seriously, like that's all it takes. Just sit down, do a tiny little fun lesson, try to make it fun if you can. If you can't, you can't. Then you have to sit and do your lesson, even if it's not the most fun lesson. Okay, what's next on my list? Connection or parent orientation. I talked about peer orientation versus parent orientation in another video, so if you're interested in hearing more about that, my thoughts on that, go check it out. But basically, parent-oriented kids are more likely to cooperate. Another way of saying this is that connection is important and attachment is important. A healthy, secure attachment to your child basically is what it comes down to. And there are ways to encourage this healthy connection. One-on-one time, regular one-on-one time, whether that's daily or weekly, I would recommend like at least 5-10 minutes a day. At least 5-10 minutes a day. There's so many things you have to do for at least 5-10 minutes a day. And I get it, but one-on-one time is seriously a big deal, and it will help your child in every area of their life if they are securely attached to their parents or their caregivers. So read aloud together. That's a huge one, and it kills many birds with one stone. Eye contact and smiling is another big one. Eye contact and smiling. It sounds so simple, but it actually helps your connection with your child so much. When you share eye contact and smile at the same time, there's actually like chemicals going on in both of your brains that are really good for everything. Maybe I should find a source for that. I read it in a book somewhere and it just stuck in my head that eye contact and smiling are important. Consider reducing or limiting screen time. Now, please don't get me wrong, because we are a very screen-friendly home over here. My kids watch TV every day. They're playing on their little tablets, they're on the TV. They're fine as long as they get their schoolwork done, they've played outside, they've done chores, they've done reading time. I don't care. I don't really limit it. But if you're having an issue with your homeschool, definitely take a 2-week detox. We love to take 2-week detoxes every now and then just to refresh our brains and get back to a baseline of what their behavior is without screens. It's really important to know that because it does change with screens, unfortunately, sometimes. To see if this was an issue for you, take the 2-week screen detox. A study from the University of California found that after just 5 days without screens, children showed significantly improved ability to read facial expressions and social cues. So screen detoxes, they're important sometimes. And the 4th tip I will say is to use humor and playfulness to diffuse tension. Play is a very powerful tool. When kids are tense or frustrated, they shut down, and that's not good for learning. This might not come naturally to every parent, but you can practice being playful and practice being funny. Can you though? Sing it. Don't say it. Our brains actually we interpret singing differently than we interpret talking. So when you use a sing-song voice, it actually helps. Like, please put your plate in the trash or in the sink. If you use not paper plates, because I'm using paper plates over here, so we put them in the trash. Hopefully that makes sense. Next, take frequent breaks. You know what? Sometimes the kids just need a break and they will be more refreshed, come back to the lesson after a short few minutes of playing or doing something else, and they'll be golden, good to go. Fidgeting, zoning out, frustration, and resistance are all signs that your child needs a break from homeschool. Conclusion: start early with routines, build a strong parent connection, reduce screen time or take a detox, use humor or playfulness to diffuse tension, and take frequent breaks when needed. So basically, those are my tips. Which one of these would work best in your homeschool? Do you do any of these? Am I on the mark? Did I miss the mark? You let me know.